Okay, can you sing up behind your mask? You won't infect anybody that way. Okay, all right. So I was going to sing this, but I'm having an unexpected. Well, this is too much information. But anyway, my nose is kind of messed up at the moment, unexpectedly because of the dry air. So I'm going to play this, and I'm going to have you sing it. Okay. I could actually hear you. That's great. Thank you very much. Thanks for your participation.
You know, what we need are big cue cards.
Yeah.
Just gigantic cue cards. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Good morning. Happy to see all of you, each of you, and happy to see you. Whoever, wherever, whatever, we're happy to be with you. And whenever you watch this experience and you play it on your phone or however you access Facebook Live, please know that we've expanded our offering for you. Jerry has managed to get our Sunday lessons on YouTube, and they are available an hour after the service is complete. So you can watch on YouTube, and perhaps that will serve our larger population better for those people who haven't been able to be on Facebook for whatever reason. So an hour after the service, we're with you on YouTube. Jerry says it works. If Jerry says it works, we believe it. Yay. That's great for all of us. We welcome you in the warm and loving spirit of unity. As we say that each Sunday morning, we extend our hearts. We welcome you in the warm and loving spirit of unity. Not just unity, the church, but that state of oneness, that realization that there is but one presence and one power, active in your life, active in my life, active in the lives of all of life, in all its expression. One presence, one power, the presence of infinite wisdom, clarity, guidance, direction, right order, the presence of that everywhere and always expression of life. Life, what? The very core of all of creativity and creation, evolving, moving forward in and through all things at once, most particularly you, wherever you are. that spirit of life is creating within you and throughout your being wholeness. And that feeling of vitality and aliveness, the unstoppable presence of strength and all those capacities that allow you to live in freedom and the fullness of life. One presence, one power, everywhere present, in you, in those you love, in and through all things. One presence, one power, life, love, peace, plenty, and every other good thing you can imagine. In the rising and falling of life and all its rhythms and in all its wondrous ways, in this moment we affirm that all is well and life is good, and we are together in unity, and we are grateful. Each Sunday morning when we come together in this place, we offer the opportunity for you to touch into the spirit of your own being, to follow your spiritual guidance, to come to a new understanding and a new way of listening that allows you to feel a sense that you are on this ever unfolding, wondrous journey of life. When we speak of truth, what we speak of is those unchanging laws of the universe itself that are active within you, that are active within us all, those unchanging truths of life and ever unfolding possibility. And we see for you in your life, in this moment in time, the ever unfolding possibility that all things are working together for good. So thanks for being with us. We're really grateful for your presence. And Louise is going to share our daily word.
Good morning.
Morning, Louise.
It's always nice to see people here. It just makes the whole day seem better. And since love is our word, it's something we ought to give more energy to in our own lives and in the lives of others. Love lights my way. In this Advent season, as I prepare my heart for the rebirth of my inner Christ child, I take a moment to connect with the spirit of love within. Sometimes this season may seem to be about presents, food, and celebrations, but it is really about love. Love is the power upon which the whole world revolves. Especially at this busy time of year, I want to stay attuned to the love of the Christ within. Through this reciprocal power, the love I give returns to me abundantly. Love transcends all, transforming any perceived negativity into a blessing. I express love in all my words and actions. I may give a plate of homemade food or send a heartfelt note of appreciation. Whatever I do, I let the love in my heart be my guide. And from Mark 12, verse 31, you shall love your neighbor as yourself. There is no other greater commandment. Thank you.
I love that commandment. Today, as Louise said, is Advent Sunday focused on love. What I'd like to do is light the candle for peace. The affirmation for peace is this: I remember that peace is already established in me. Think that over for a minute. Take it in. I remember that peace is already established in me, awaiting my call. awaiting my call. Peace, awaiting my call. What a great statement. I remember that peace is already established in me, awaiting my call. Charles Fillmore said, we just need to declare from within, deep within, the presence of peace to experience that opening, that awareness, that deeper understanding that we are always centered in peace. Thank you to our Sunday team. Ward, thank you. He's imbibing fluids. Something strange in a blue bottle.
Grass-fed iconic protein drink.
Well, grass-fed iconic? Did you say iconic? Well, there you go, France. Ellen's in the back managing our sound and light. And Jerry is there doing what he always does on Sunday morning, which is practically everything. Chris is here. She's our greeter, warm welcomer, love-filled invitation to come on in. And we're grateful for each of you for your willingness to participate. Thanks, Louise. So the holidays are moving forward. This Wednesday already on the 15th, is our candlelighting service, our annual candlelighting service. This Wednesday at 7 o'clock. I'm going to say it again, this Wednesday at 7 o'clock. And it's way more beneficial if you can be here in the sanctuary to experience it. And so the big rule is you must be masked. We are going to create seating that allows a lot of people to come. We have lots of candles waiting to be lit here in the sanctuary. If you can't be with us, join us at 7 o'clock from your home and have some white candles to light. It will it has that same impact. Matthew Wilson will be our soloist along with Dr. Reverend Richard Lauren Held, and our good friend Nina Clark, Reverend Nina Clark, will be here. So the four of us will be playing and creating the wonder of Christmas for you. So I hope that you can be here. It would be our joy. We'll do everything we can to keep you safe in a sanctuary with others. And I just want to really say that from the beginning of my time in Unity and all through these many, many, many years, the Christmas candlelighting service for me is Christmas. I love presents, and Christmas morning is nice, but Christmas candlelighting really does bring to me, to my heart of hearts, the experience of Christmas. So please be with us. We'd love to see you. On the 26th of December, we're calling it our Christmas service, our Sunday service, and we'll have food that day. So come and be part of the celebration of Christmas and enjoy something yummy and wonderful with your friends at Unity. And on the 2nd of January, we'll have our Burning Bowl and White Stone ceremony. And again, it's meaningful wherever you engage the ritual of the Burning Bowl White Stone. But it actually is more meaningful when you're with others. So I ask you to consider that on the 2nd you'll be here at Unity. This morning we have a cake, one of Auntie Louise's holiday cakes. And you're not here to have a piece of it. It's not like trying to do that, but I'm just saying the people in the sanctuary are invited to have a piece of the cake donated, right? Donated by Ward, a gift from Ward, and he's asking you for each slice of cake, would you make a donation? would you make a donation? So we're sharing the cake. Annie Louise has been busy, busy, busy getting the cake orders filled, and we've completed that project. Grateful for your support, your loving support. We've completed the sock project. We've gotten the socks out distributed. We've completed the raising of funds for our Christmas family. Those go out for delivery on Tuesday, I think the 14th. So we're all over it. We've met every goal, and we're having wonderful leadership create and provide for others what we can. And after the holiday, we will do another drive of some sort to be of benefit to those who need hats and gloves and other kinds of things. So thank you for your support. We're really, really grateful to be able to honor the community this way. She said, my list of announcements is we're just dropping them off one by one here. Did I miss anything? You said I can proceed. I don't know where you are in your preparation for the holiday, but I just made the trip to Oregon, where my mother has been moved from the condo she's been living in independently for I don't remember how many years. At age 96 tomorrow, bless her heart, she's been moved into the experience of assisted living in a lovely place in Seaside, Oregon. So we were up and down the I-5 corridor and then down on the way to the beach and back and here and there doing a variety of things. And as we're touching into nostalgia history and packing things and being present with her in the facility where she is now living. As we were leaving, the choirs that go and sing for people in assisted care, nursing homes, the choir was singing Christmas songs, a choir, and the sanctuary was decorated with trees and lights, and I thought, in so many ways, blessings appear. Because in that moment, I was feeling the nostalgia of my mother, where she's been living, the part of my life that's been packing things, letting go of things, moving things. And there she is in her new tiny domain. And I thought, there's just so much emotion that goes with the holidays. And then when other things come along that stir that emotion, it can be joy, it can be sadness, it can be whatever it might be. For her, it's confusion right now about trying to resettle into a new environment, figure out how to be. For me, it's that sense of letting go again, always letting go, always more letting go. It seems not to be about age, not to be about what time of the year, but always letting go. So here are these lovely people singing Silent Night as we're leaving the facility where Mom lives, and I'm suddenly dripping tears, of gratitude that there's somebody there singing Christmas songs, and the deep place in my heart where I feel the emotion of this holiday season, and now the experience of her relocation, and I had so much gratitude the kind of gratitude that just wells up and bursts open. At the same time, I was feeling this sense of unbelievable deep sadness, as though those two things we think would be separate from one another, not in the same space at the same time. But there it was, that wonderful moment when everything was together in wholeness. And so as Kay and I walked away and got in the car and drove away, I thought the perfection of life cannot fail. The perfection of life cannot fail. The perfection of life is the constancy in which we live and move and have our being. And perfection, that perfection we talk about, that sense of wholeness, that experience of oneness in perfect order, it cannot fail. It will not fail us. And in this time, in our world, when things seem so chaotic, in wholeness, nothing is left out, and all things are in their own perfection. Knowing this, you can be in tears one moment, laughter the next. You can be lost, you don't know where you're going, it's dark, whatever in your own experience. But somehow, in the midst of all of that, is this perfection. One minute you're lost, and the next minute you're on the right road going wherever you belong. It's like, can it be out of order, really? And so my invitation throughout the season is to recognize the perfection of that order, that wholeness, with the memory brought forward as your spiritual practice, to remember that perfection cannot fail. Wherever we are is exactly where we're meant to be. And if changes are coming, then we're going to be in the right place again, guided by that infinite wisdom and perfect order. Perfection does not fail. And the presence we speak of cannot fail. It cannot fail us. It's only when we're willful and want it the way we want it that we find ourselves in trouble, in times of trouble. Mother Mary comes to comfort me. Shall we meditate? In consideration of the statement we make over and over again, there is only one presence and one power active in my life. Everywhere present, in and through all things, in and through all experience, in and through birthing and dying, and in and through rising and falling, and in and through forward movement and stopping in place. The presence is present. In this season, we seek guidance and clarity. We seek openings into that divine perfection, and we listen for the still small voice, ever present, guiding, blessing, revealing, leading. In breathing, we align ourselves with the perfect rhythm of life. I align myself with the perfect rhythm of life. As the body relaxes, as the mind settles, we move more deeply into that deep inner peace. In the stillness, I am reborn. As I draw upon the source energy that is filling and overflowing. Imagine that source energy is like a river of light flowing in and through your being. A river of light. And you're becoming more and more transparent to the light. As everything that's been tight and holding on is suddenly being washed away. You are a transparent river of light. And you breathe and you allow that river of light to be present in and through every cell and atom. It moves through the center of your being and moves outward through every aspect, every particle, every little bit of you to reveal to release, to renew and restore. The perfect, pure balance and energy of your being. You step back. It's as though inwardly you take a step back and you witness this river of light as it's moving through you. It's releasing the worry and the heaviness and that sense of being empty or overburdened or too much or not enough. It's flowing through you with this perfect, radiant, radiant flow. And you don't try to stop it. You let it wash through your heart to free and uplift. You let it wash through your mind to bring clarity and that perfect wisdom for your next step. It's washing through your body to restore you in that state of wholeness and well-being. A river of light. I am a river of light. Wherever I am, the light goes before me, surrounds me, is present in every part of me. And I know that I am centered in that which always is love, peace, life, wisdom. And in that light state, my heart is able to witness my life. My life is a blessing. And give thanks. And so it is that we say, thank you, God. And we can say then, all is well. All is well. And so it is. Nice job. Thank you. Perfectly perfect, sir. Invoking the light. Peace. Invoking the light. Peace. I thought as I wrote that, well, that doesn't quite hang together right. Invoking the light. There's peace. Last week was invoking the light. Faith. Next week, it's love. So it does tie in with Advent, even though our schedule is just a little different. As I began looking through material to stimulate my own, I call it priming the pump, going into a state where I'm listening and watching and being present to possibilities. I found David Spangler's most recent newsletter, and this is what he wrote. He said, "This is the month when, in one form or another, we celebrate light, its presence, its return, its wonder, and its miracles in our lives." This is a month we celebrate light. And then these are his words of prayer. May we know the light that is eternally within us. May we know the light that is eternally within us. May we know it. Not just speak of it, but know it. May we be that light to the world. May I know the light that is present within me, not the darkness, not the emptiness, not as our true state, the emptiness or the darkness, but the light. Let there be light, it says in the creation story. Let there be light. Let there be light. Let there be light. And the darkness comprehended it not. The light, when I'm in dark-mindedness, I can't see the light. When I'm allowing what seems to be present to turn down my rheostat, I find myself outside the understanding that when I bring my attention to the light, the darkness has no hold. It's simply transitory. It's a state. It's a way of being. But it's not a truth. It's not a law of the universe. It's not the law of life. Yes, we gestate in the darkness of the womb. Yes, we return to that state that seems to be a darkened state during times when the circumstances have dimmed the light for whatever reason, or because it's time to sleep, or because it's the rhythm of things. But darkness is not a fundamental state of existence. It's not, it does not determine the reality of life itself, although it brings into perfect balance all things. How can something be both dark and light at the same time? There's that contrast, there's that polarity. It's important that we be able to go deep into states that seem to leave us sightless or without guidance. It's important we go deep so that we can seek again on this great journey the experience of deeper light and a greater awareness. We dive deep and we rise to light. But as we look at life itself and all its demonstrations, when you turn on the light, as Eric Butterworth said, when you turn on the light, that dark room disappears. And that dark room being our state of being. May we know the light within all the life around us. May we know the light within all the life around us. May we know the light within all the life around us. May we serve that light, that all may thrive. May we know the light that yet seeks to unfold. May we be its unfolding. May we seek the light that yet seeks to unfold, and may we be its unfolding, that our tomorrows may be blessed. May light be present in who we are, where we are, and in all that we do. May we celebrate the presence of light. David Spangler is an extraordinary teacher. He has an organization, or he's part of an organization called the Lorien Foundation. And the Lorien Foundation, before it was the Lorien Foundation, was Findhorn and the Findhorn Association. And David Spangler was the primary channeler of a presence named John, who revealed what to do with the land and how to work with nature spirits and how to work with the presence of light and life. And then down the road a piece, although it's hard to find this written at this point in time, power, politics, organizational dynamics kicked in. And people started leaving and going their own way, and as happens, something that had arisen was not permanent. The baseline of the truths that they were living and practicing, and the cooperation with life itself, was that creative, generative energy that gives birth to all life. And somehow in the mind, as we begin to divide our energies and move more into the absence and the presence of whatever it is that we're looking for, the state of mind and heart began to divide the energies. The experience of light is indivisible. It has its own waves and particles and scientific hoo-ha about it. And you can look at it and you can see it from all of the scientific aspects of light and how it's been studied. But it's an indivisible force, light, filled with this wisdom and a deep experience of something so foundational to all of life, that in that light we're able to access this inner peace and the reality of our indwelling divine beingness. But there comes a point where, when we ourselves divide, when we ourselves believe that the darkness of a particular aspect of a life manages our wellness or has endurance through time and space, we lose our way. And then at this season of the year, we're reminded once again, the light is always present. We're always giving birth to light upon light upon light. And in that light is the light of peace. There's an excerpt of Fun Story from John Kabat-Zinn that brings it into reality at your own sink in your own house. I hate finding caked cat dishes in the sink, along with ours. I'm not sure why this pushes my buttons so strongly, but it does. I have taken to experimenting with my reactions at the kitchen sink by watching them very closely without acting on them. I can report that the initial feeling of revulsion is not all that bad if I stay with it, breathe with it, and permit myself to just feel it. It actually goes away within a second or two. I have also noticed that it is the sense of betrayal, of being thwarted in my wishes, that makes me mad much more than the cat food itself. And so I discover it's not really the cat food by itself that is the source of my anger. It's that I'm not feeling listened to and respected. Very different from the cat food. So I've stopped taking it personally, he said. When I really don't want cat food in the sink, I roll up my sleeves and I clean the dishes in that moment. Otherwise, I just leave them there and go away. We no longer have fights about it. In fact, I find myself smiling now when I do come across the offending objects in the sink. After all, they've taught me a lot. Just that piece is so perfect, not because it's about cat food in the sink, but it's about somebody meeting a process within him that's robbing him of his peace and bringing forth in him that state of resistance. That now he has the opportunity to shift. Because he wants to. Because he doesn't want to stay in that state. It matters to him. Obviously, this has been going on long enough. Obviously, his family doesn't really care what he thinks about it. Obviously, the people around him are going on about their lives. They're not bothered by cat food dishes in the sink. What are they bothered by? The division that occurs. They're not the one who fixed it. How many of them? I don't know. They're not the ones who fixed it. They didn't change it. They didn't make it better. They didn't make it different. The cat food dishes continued to be in the sink. So who's going to make an adjustment? Who's going to show up at the table? Who's going to, by that I mean, who's going to bring themselves to the moment in a way that makes a difference? The world is not going to give us what we want most of the time, or believe we should have or shouldn't have. And yet, that which gives us everything is perpetual. That which is the gift of life itself, the light of the world shining in the midst of us, gives us everything we need. I remember years ago hearing about a Catholic priest in Los Angeles who created something called homeboys. Homeboys. Homeboys took the gang kids in, invited them in, created a way in which they could work, be productive, and be in support of one another instead of shooting each other. So it wasn't one gang. It was anybody who wanted to get out of the network of gang life, who would step in and out of the world that they had known into a new place. Many of them had been abandoned kids. They were kids whose families were addicted. They were kids who were orphaned. They were kids who lived on the street. They were kids who lived in abject poverty. They were kids who didn't really have any parental structure. They were kids who didn't have anything. Later we came to discover it wasn't just kids who didn't have families who joined gangs and became part of the system. But nonetheless, they would reach a point where this homeboy network was an invitation for connection, for kinship, which is one of the fundamental pieces of the network, kinship, working together, working beyond the idea that survival and darkness were forever into a world of opportunity, something different. Some stayed, some left. Many were killed. Just as the gang warfare continued, many of them who stepped in were seen to have abandoned the network and were killed on the streets. Nonetheless, it remained and it sustained over time this place where the sense of peace dawned in the minds and the hearts of these young people, some of whom aren't very young anymore, but there would be this sense of a dedication to something different that would arise in them, and it became a system worth living for. It became a something that made the difference. And a different kind of courage was born, and a different way of serving emerged, and the way in which they worked together was born out of the atrocity of their lives and their histories. And they were hungry for something different. And they worked together to create it, and they created an open door then for anybody who wanted to get out of the life and into a new world. And they taught each other how to see and think in different ways, not just in a Christian way, but in a way that looked at the world and said, the place where I stand is a place of goodness, and I can make a difference. The empowerment of that, I can make a difference in a positive way. I don't have to have power over in a destructive way. I can use the power I have to do good things. And one of the stories talks about 6 of them one night. One of the guys, it was Thanksgiving, there was nowhere to go, and one of the guys said, I'm gonna do Thanksgiving dinner for us. And 6 of them, who used to be divided and warring against each other, sat together chatting and talking while they watched the turkey cook for several hours, and reported it was one of the most healing things they'd ever experienced. And it was Thanksgiving, and they were together, and they were in kinship, not in opposition. They were in a different way of being with each other than they'd ever dreamed possible. Here we are. Here we are in a new way, in a different world. The words born again take on new meaning when somebody turns away from whatever the darkness is that has consumed the mind and the heart, and moved into a new state of what we would call illumination, spiritual illumination, a new way of seeing, a new way of thinking, a new way of being. That's the promise of Christmas, a birthing, a rebirthing, a born-again state of being that allows us to step out of the darkness of that realm that we think has so much power over us, a negative world, political divide, upheaval, people living pushed out of their countries with nothing and no resource. We look at it. Tornadoes in what? Alabama, Illinois, Kentucky, Tennessee. A flood in France where Judy and Anne live. Major rain, all these things. You look at the world, 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 you look at the world. You say it has so much power, it has so much power, it has so much power. There's no peace in that state of mind. That's the turn down the rheostat. There's no peace there. The question is, does it bring you peace to stay in that state of mind, in that state of heart, in that state of being? Kids on the street lived in terror, constant terror, and compensated for it through aggression. No peace. Just a short life. So, is it cat food dishes in the sink? Is it the way somebody speaks to you? Is it where you go? Is it that you've been rejected, turned away? Is it that someone doesn't get what you need and deliver on it? Is it, what is it? What is it? What is it? That's our place. That's our place to get out of, to move out of the dimming of our energy into the arising of our new birth, our born again nature, which has peace at the core. Peace is not one of those conditional things. If you've ever had the experience, and I know you have many times, of letting something go, or moving through something that you were very distressed by. And as soon as you accepted it or let it go or released it or did whatever that was, there was this feeling of peace. This feeling of already here peace. Just waiting for us to call it forward as we release what we have believed is standing in the way. That peace, that sense of ever present, and you move from this thing to that thing, and suddenly you're in this indescribable moment, an instant when the bear didn't eat you, and the whatever it was didn't destroy you, and you've let go finally of that thing that just plagued you forever and ever and ever. And you're like, it's none of my business to hang out there. My business is to allow the light that is ever present and the peace that is somehow central to our beingness to arise. That's the work. That's the place. Every time we let go of something and move to that state, into that state, every time we forgive, every time we move through whatever we believe is holding us from our good or withholding from us what we desire, there's this feeling that's present. And you think, oh, I've been found again. Oh, look, I've been found again. I've been saved from myself again. I've been safe. I've been saved from the tormenting energy of my own state of mind and heart again. And then you think, oh yeah, it's always there. oh yeah, it's always there. Joel Goldsmith said, spiritual illumination comes to us in a measure with our first investigation of truth. We believe we are seeking good or truth, whereas we believe I'm seeking good and truth, whereas the light has begun to shine in our consciousness and compels us to take the steps we've already taken since. So, I love that because, sorry, it's one of those things that's like, oh yeah, the reason I've taken this step or shifted that thought is because the light within me is already compelling me to align. So, well, why does it take so long? So, well, it didn't take any time at all when you realized, when you thought of it. It was instantaneous. The light was there, the peace was there. But it suddenly breaks through with the brilliance that says, oh yes, I've been born again. I have called it forth. Every increase of spiritual understanding means more light appearing and dispelling the darkness of sense. This inflow of illumination will continue until we come to the full realization of our true identity as the light of the world. You will not be left without light. The inflow of illumination when we turn toward it. Charles Fillmore said, you can demonstrate peace of mind, which allows the light to be present in the darkness of the mind. You can demonstrate peace of mind by holding the words, I am peace. If we start any such demonstration and try to apply the I am to personality, we will fall short. If we start any such demonstration and try to apply the I am to personality, that which is external, we fall short. This recognition must be cultivated, and everyone should become conscious of the I am presence. This consciousness will come through prayer and the realization of truth. I am peace. That's the realization of truth. I am peace. I am light. Fill your mind. Hold it with the thought of a mighty peace. You will feel a consciousness, a harmonizing stillness that no one can understand or explain. It must be felt, realized, and acknowledged by your individual I am before the supreme I am can pour out its power. You have to get it yourself. It's back to the table. You gotta set the table. You gotta sit down. You gotta eat and digest the truth. I am peace. I am light. I'm not a victim. Victim does not live here. I'm not a victim of the darkness. I'm not a victim of loss. I'm not a victim of divide. I'm not a victim of other people's power and ideas and thoughts and beliefs and everything that goes with it. I'm not a victim of those things. Will we live at victim in our darkness perpetually, or will we realize that we are light, that we are already peace, that we are already, not in the future, but already full of, overflowing with, surrounded by, in the experience of pure, undifferentiated peace, if our mind will call it forth. Undifferentiated light, if the mind, not just that mind, but the God mind of my being we'll call it forth. May we know the light that is eternally within us. Well, what do I have to do to get it? Stop fighting against it. Give up the war, the conflict within that fights against our nature until we fall bleeding and bruised into a receptivity that allows us to see what's true. How do I get that light that's within me? Like you could lose it. Like it would be here today but not tomorrow. No, I feel it today. Tomorrow we'll check out how we're doing. As long as we believe we are victims to the absence of the light and the peace and the well-being of our beingness, our divine nature, as long as we feel that we are victim to the absence of the one, we will move in and out of these states of unconsciousness that bring forth suffering and separation for ourselves. I'm not even out there somewhere at some point on the globe, because what I know is when we stop being victimized by our own resistance, the whole world lights up. Everything lights up. That river of light covers the globe. But we don't do it to be martyrs. We don't do it to be meritorious beings. We do it because this is the place where peace and freedom live. May we know the light that is eternally within us. How far do you have to go? Well, mostly from here to here. That's about how far the journey is from here to here. May we be that light to the world. May we know the light within all the life around us. May we serve that light that all may thrive. May we know the light that yet seeks to unfold. May we be its unfolding that our tomorrows may be blessed. May light be present in who we are, where we are, and in all that we do. What would I have to do? I would have to see that light is present in who I am, in where I am, and in all that I do. It is so. May we celebrate the presence of light, and in that light may we find peace. I invoke the power of light within me. I speak it into truth. I invoke the power of peace within me. I speak it into truth. I am peace. I am light. I am the living embodiment of faith. I behold that it is so, and so it is. Mm-hmm. Okay, thank you all for hanging with me as these thoughts come pouring through. And Wednesday, don't forget, Wednesday, candle lighting service, 7 o'clock, online, Facebook Live, or in person here in the sanctuary, well masked. Well masked. I'll learn to say it about the time we can finally give them up. I'll learn. I'll formulate the words. And prayer, prayer, prayer. Prayer team had a meeting this week. Again, we hold you constantly in prayer and in the light. The names come through. We receive them in a variety of ways. If you're in the sanctuary, our prayer box is available to you over on the credenza. If you're not in the building, submit your prayer requests through info@unitysv.org. If you have other questions and considerations, go to info@unitysv.org and drop whatever that request is, and we'll get back to you. The other thing I want to mention is last year we sent out burning bowl supplies. We're not going to do that this year. So if you want to be part of the January 2nd service, you either need to create those things for yourself or be here with us on that day. And we'd certainly love to have you here. Christmas Sunday, again, the 26th, and we'll have a sharing time with food that morning. I think I've covered the bases. We're so grateful for you online and you in the sanctuary for your support, for the many ways that you support this ministry, that we can continue to do the work and be present in the way that we are. Your gifts make it possible, and I've said this so many times, for this ministry to continue in a way that we believe is our calling. We are called to do this work. We are called to teach these ideas. We are called to live them and practice them in our lives. We are called to share them with others. And so it is our calling to serve you. And we wish to serve you at the highest and best level. So thank you for all the ways in which you give. We are, gratitude can't really describe it, because we would not be if you were not in support of us. That's the reality. So thank you, thank you, thank you. And maybe God would have another plan. You see, I said it like that. But then my mind and my heart said, well, I don't know. We might still be here. You can't stop a great idea, and you can't stop the truth. So there you have it. Let's bless our offering. We have an offering plate here in the sanctuary as you leave. And of course, you can offer your gifts online or through the slot in the door or by mail or in any possible way you can think of. We're grateful for them. I give joyfully and easily. Why do we say it that way? I give joyfully and easily because it shouldn't be hard work to share what's good with others. I give joyfully and easily, for God is my source and abundance is my nature. And so it is. The light of God surrounds us. I'm taking a breath. The light of God surrounds us. Just feel into it. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Not because we're special, but because it's always so. And it's so for everyone. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. It's been wonderful to be with you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being there. God bless you. We'll see you soon.
6.